supposedly is the best tour that the Mammoth Caves Rangers put on. I think there's about 12 or 14 total different tours that you can pick from. I want to say you can book them 2 months out approximately. And didn't know this, we actually didn't book this particular one until last night. We signed up for a notification. We'd get a notification when somebody canceled. And if you pay attention the day before, that's the last day you can cancel and still get a good size refund. We were at dinner last night, got an email that a couple tickets opened up for this, so we were able to book it, just the 2 of us. If there were 4 tickets, we would have brought the boys, but
as we were going, we were like, this would have been boring for them.
And so you have to remember, this is a lantern tour, so there was at least, I'd say 40 or 50 people in the group.
Yeah, and they said 12 lanterns.
Yeah, 12 lanterns for 40 to 50 people, and
so not everyone gets to hold a lantern.
No, and as you can imagine, it's very dimly lit just via the lanterns, so you can't really see a lot. Previous caves we've gone to have had a lot more
features. Like this was literally, I just kept saying it looks like a subway tube. Like it was just like a big tube.
I mean, almost, yeah, just with a ton of rock on the ground, almost like a rocky planet, just nothing but rock around you and broken rocks all around you.
Yeah, she said it was a dry cave, so there weren't any like stalactites or stalagmites.
Until the very end, until the Violet City portion, which leads us to our next topic on this tour, and that's our guide was just
she was ruled with an iron fist.
Yep. You know, neither ranger, you had a ranger at the front and a ranger at the back, and neither ranger was holding a lantern, so she asked for volunteers
to have somebody hold a lantern at the front near her, and so we volunteered because we're like, oh, if you're at the front,
you get to ask a lot of questions.
The ranger or whatever. She didn't want any questions.
So
we walked in silence.
Right. So as soon as we entered the cave,
I asked
a basic question.
Yeah, just like, I wonder if this like, did they carve out this portion to walk through, or is this the way it was? And she's like, I'll answer that question later. And I'm just like, okay.
Yep. And then once we were kind of in a group, she's like, and I won't be answering questions.
No, she was like, that's a private tour if I answer questions
along the way, yeah, as opposed to just in a group setting. So we walked a total of 3 miles.
I put it right when we started walking, and it was 2.5 hours. Yeah. Exactly. Okay.
So what you're literally doing is you are walking for about 20 minutes through dimly lit rock.
Subway tunnel,
and neither ranger is answering questions.
You're walking in silence.
You can hear some water features here or there. You can see some caverns here or there,
but you can't see it because you're only holding lanterns. And even if there was one point where it sounded like there was a pretty significant waterfall or something, but it was off in the abyss, no rangers said anything about it or shined their light over there.
Just kept walking.
Some sort of water over there. Can't see what it is though. But our tour guide isn't stopping. I know, shine your flashlight over there, for heaven's sake. Didn't even shine her flashlight. Like, guess we're not talking about what that water is. It's the invisible waterfall.
I mean, it seemed almost like a hike underground.
Yeah.
That was completely featureless because you couldn't ask questions, and it looked like there were some artifacts written on some rock. And so I try and like shine my lantern up just to kind of see, and there was some you know, old drawings or whatever it might be.
Or like there was like an old coffee can that said Maxwell House, and it looked like old.
It looked like there was some like old playing cards or old cigarettes or something on a rock too. But
no one said anything about it.
We've been to several cave systems. We've been to Ruby Falls. We've been to Diamond Caverns, which is just down the road. We've been to
Lewis and Clark.
We did another one in Tennessee.
Oh, the Lost Sea.
Yeah, the Lost Sea, which was incredible. And this might be at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like so far. And everybody always talks about how beautiful Mammoth Caves is. This is our first cave experience. We're gonna go on the historical tour in a couple days.
And that one is lit by electricity.
That one's lit, so we should be able to see more, but this was out of the 14 tours that you could book on recreation.gov, this was the only one that was rated 5 stars. All the others were at, 3.5, 4, 4.5, and this was the only 5-star rated tour. And
we would give it what, 3, 2 stars?
Maybe a 2. And I mean, honestly, both rangers put it at like a 1.5. Like it was that bad.
The rangers made this tour worse. Like if we had better rangers.
I've never met rangers that didn't truly enjoy what they were doing, and both of these rangers looked like they were there for the paycheck. Like,
and the one lady, the head girl, Ashley was her name, she just sounded like she enjoyed hearing herself talk.
She'd do these long dramatic
pauses, like.
And then I think people were afraid to ask questions. I've never been in a group, especially during like a ranger talk, and not have a ton of questions. In the group setting, I don't know that there were more than like 4 or 5 questions total.
Yeah.
Over 6 stops. And I think people were just afraid. And so they just kind of,
or you couldn't see anything, so there was nothing to ask questions about.
So couple tips when it comes to this tour.
If your ranger is Ashley, do not go on it.
Yeah, don't go, but I'm not sure you can ask ahead of time. But the first thing I would do is walk towards the back. When you're at the front, like we were originally, you can't see anything. It is just a black abyss in front of you. At least when you're in the back, all the lanterns in front of you are lighting things up so you can see things a little bit better. 2, wear pants and a jacket. There were some people in shorts and t-shirts, and you could tell they were cold. 3rd tip, I probably wouldn't do it. That's the tip. Or
hiking shoes would probably come in handy, because there are some areas where you have to go uphill pretty dramatically.
But the 3rd tip is I just wouldn't do it.
We're glad we didn't take our boys. They would have been complaining the whole time. That
I wouldn't take your kids. It's boring. I mean, the stuff we did learn from her during these talks was interesting, but the dead silence for 20 to 25 minutes at a time, as you're literally walking through a dark tunnel with just surrounded by rock. Ranger Ashley said they do 1 tour per day on this particular tour, and it's as popular as it is. We thought ideally, instead of just doing 1 tour per day, maybe do a tour every 30 minutes, you know, 1 ranger for 8 or 10 people.
Let somebody get so far ahead that you're not going to like run into them.
But allowing us to ask questions along the way, because there were probably at least 8 or 10 questions that I legitimately had that by the time we'd stop, I'd kind of forget what the question was.
Because you're not in that area anymore, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so that would be the recommendation for the national parks, because I know they watch our videos. But you didn't realize what I was saying.
I didn't realize you were saying a joke.
But some of the features, again, like even the huts, there were 2 huts that we literally just walked right past
silently.
And
she didn't even say, I'm going to be talking about this later.
She referenced those 2 huts later on,
like half a mile down the road.
But you didn't even get to see them.
Didn't even know what you were like. If you weren't looking, you wouldn't have seen them. So
yeah, so that's Violet City Lantern Tour in a nutshell, and we wouldn't recommend it.